Hi, so my name is Raquel. I'm the executive director here at Learn Reading Easy Hub Incorporated. And here, a part of our series, Explore the Journey of Reading, I've had the opportunity to bring on the amazing children book author, Wayneth. She's going to come in today to give us a little bit of insight of her journey as an author, her upcoming books, and different projects that she's working on. A lot of her work correlates very strongly with what we do here at Learn Reading Easy, just bridging that gap between literacy and making sure that voices of students and what's relatable to them can be found in their homes, as well as connecting with the authors that you see across this entire series. So I would like to bring on Wayneth.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Thank
Yeah, so Wayneth, go ahead and tell us a little bit about who you are as a children's book author, how long you've been in this field, and then also just your inspiration as an author. Where do you get those details from, as well as a little bit about your amazing books that I'm really excited for
you.
you to share about.
Okay. So I literally been writing forever. The moment I knew how to write, my grandmother, she would always have me write poems in church. Um, Church and in schools, I would write my ideas down. She was very strict with the writing. So I was inspired by that. And even though she was strict, I liked it.
Mhm.
So I would always just be creative. Fast forward to, I would just write poems, I'll write little books. I still have notebooks from like junior high school and high school of little things I would flip through. And I'm like, whoa, I have them in like a safe here. And I went through it one summer and I'm like, you know what? I wrote these stories years ago and I was just sitting on them. I have to do something with it.
Mhm.
These stories need to be heard. I had children as well, so I have two kids. As you can see, my stories are centered around two main characters, which is Luna and Liam, inspired by both my children, Leah and Luca. So my daughter, when she was in my stomach, I would read to her. She was an early reader. She
Mhm.
loved reading,
Nice.
so she still enjoys reading. So her love for reading, she would whenever I'd read her bedtime stories. This was the thing. This is how I really got out there with my bedtime stories. I promise I'm getting back to it. I would read to her, but she always want a story, keep going, keep going. So I'm like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I have to keep going. But the storybook is done. Now I got to freestyle. So I
Yes.
have to make a story. Close the book. I'm like, okay, once upon a time, there was a little girl named Leah. And I'm like, and I would just tell her stories, like beautiful bedtime. She's like, and she would just doze off. And she
Yeah.
loved it. And I was like, you know what? When I got up from her bed, I would just go to my notes and I'll just type it down. That was a great idea. I love that concept. So I'll just keep going
Mhm.
and keep going. I'll just pile my notes and I'm like, bedtime stories. I'm going to lead with that. And I went ahead and self-published my bedtime stories last summer. And it was four mini books. I started with Luna and the Star Balloon. And I went on to Luna and the Cloud Carousel. I split them up. It's literally one book, but I made it two because
Mhm.
I wasn't sure what I was doing. I'm like, you know what? I'll just make it two. They're mini books. And
Right.
then I was like, oh, introduce a new character. I can turn Luna into Liam, being that I
Right.
have a baby boy. So, and then I released Liam in the Midnight Train and the other Liam book, which is Liam in the Cloud Library. So those are the
Right.
four mini I led with. And I was just like, wow, they're doing really well. But trial and error, because I was self-publishing, I taught myself how to do all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, I can take it further. Like, I love to write. I'm sitting here. My background is law enforcement, so you have to write a lot, and you have to be very detailed
Mhm.
because what you write is very important. It can change someone's life. So that's how with that background and with everything in the mindset, it was a lot easier to sit there and structure my book. So I would create an outline. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to do a dream job series.
Mhm.
Dream jobs. So kids can see it's more to life than just
Right.
everyone do this and they want to do that. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start off with my background, which is investigative.
Mhm.
So that's how I led off my dream job series, which is Leo Solves
Liam
a
solves the
Mystery.
mystery.
That is the first book in the series. And I created an outline of six books, six titles surrounding people in my life. The second book that's coming out, pre-order March 27th, is Luna Cooks Up a Storm. It's number two in the Dream Job series. And that was inspired by my best friend who loves to cook.
Nice.
Like I said, all the books in that series of six that's coming. I have a calendar all the way to 2028, but I'll get there.
Yeah.
So my love for writing and incorporating that with my background and the people around me has been so inspirational. I have a ton of support. My family, I love them so much. They're very supportive. My husband, um, my parents, very supportive, siblings as well, and makes the process easier, and especially when I go out to read to these schools and I'm like, wow, these kids, they really love that. I'm from the city, so it's like these kids,
No.
they don't see a lot. They see things one-sided. So I'm going around reading this detective book, and I'm like, I wonder how they feel about law enforcement, that negative connotation that comes with law enforcement. So in using that book and pushing it in the school and letting these kids know it's more than just, what you may see in the media.
Mhm.
It's more than, so they're like, wow, I want to be a police officer when I grow up. I've gotten that. If I tell you how many times I've gotten that from kids, I started my tour for this book. I actually started in February and I've been
Mhm.
to about 10, 12 schools
Mhm.
thus far. And these kids are giving me hugs. They're like, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a detective. I want to be an investigator. I
Yeah.
want to find all these clues. So that makes me so warm and fuzzy because it's like they're inspired. And I'm like, job well done,
Job
but
well
job is not
done.
finished.
Yeah, and I think that's something that really stood out a lot to me with your book, as well as you being an author. You can tell that it came from, I want to say, I like to say like a homely place. So for instance,
Yes,
even like your bedtime story, I was like, oh wow, like I can feel it. Like I felt
yes,
that. And then
yes.
I really, really love the Liam Sauce mystery like aspect of everything. So I think it's so nice how you take like real life experiences and different
And incorporate
inspirations
that into
and
yeah.
incorporate that to make it very relatable to students, because I do believe that especially now in this day and age when we have like literacy, a lot of students aren't reading. So it's really hard for them to
Yeah,
find things that they can relate to. And a lot of times
exactly.
it's not that they don't want to read, it's that they have challenges finding something that they can relate to. Prior to me actually starting my nonprofit, I actually was an in-classroom teacher for like 6 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
And what's so amazing that I think that you guys are doing as children book authors is that you guys are touching the many hearts, literally many.
I feel something inside of me whenever like a little kid hugged me and like, I love your book. And I'm like,
Yeah, and it's so important. It's so
oh,
important because now, you know, back in the days when you were like younger, you ask a kid like, "What do you want to do?" They say, "Oh, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a doctor." And now, it's like the world has opened up so much to where now, like sometimes they say, "Oh, I want to be a streamer," or "Oh, I want to be a cook." Whereas like
yeah.
before, that was probably not necessarily like considered like a career, but it's like no, now you can really be a cook. You can really be a chef.
Really a
Yeah,
chef.
you can
Yeah.
really be a chef. You can really be an author. So I really do like that aspect of things that you're taking real life scenarios and adding like
And
your
just
own twist and making it wholesome for students to relate to. So I really appreciate that a lot. And then one thing that I did want to touch on a lot is that I know that you do have like your self-publishing company and you are a self-published author. And I know that that requires a lot of time, a lot of effort.
yes.
Tell us
I was in
about that
all the meetings
journey.
today.
What made you do that?
So I okay. I was like, wow. I publish my own books. My books are beautiful. Like I take pride. I sent you a few books and thank you so much for ordering as well.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
from front to back, I'm so detailed. It's everything. I'm like, this is how I want it. This is how I want it. From creating the dream job cards, the trade-in cards, because I want kids to feel like I want to keep coming back.
Right.
Like I know growing up, my mom used to order this set. It was like a scholastic set, and it was like a
Mm-hmm.
passport included, and you will learn about different
Different
countries.
countries. Yeah,
So
I know exactly what you're talking
I love
about.
that idea. So I incorporated that in my bedtime adventure story. So
Hmm.
with stickers. So I'll send them stickers. So whenever you get a bedtime, you put your sticker and another book in the series, you collect them. So publishing, I'm like, you know what? I can do this. I can help someone who's not maybe computer savvy or privy
Hmm.
to the information and have the knowledge. I can do that. So I put it out there. I went and got my license, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to publish for other children authors.
Yeah.
And this week I signed 4 or 5 alone. And I'm like, wow. So I'm going to be really busy this summer. And I'm just so grateful because I want their vision to come to life.
Right, right.
Sitting there talking to them and over the Zoom and Meet. And I'm like, wow, you sound like me. I get the vision, and we're going to make this happen because one thing about it, I'm all about literacy. As you see, I know you have my book. All my books have literacy in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. It's reading comprehension,
Mm-hmm.
answer the questions. It's how do you see yourself in the story? It's reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
It's SEL, social emotional. So they're
Emotional,
getting
right?
their emotions. You're asking, how do you feel after that? What would you do in this situation? Create your own story with a different ending. So it's different things like that I like to incorporate in the book. So it's not just a story. I like to say my books are an experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's yeah, that was
Yeah.
I love that part of it. My favorite part, to be honest.
I love the fact that that's something that I did notice about your journey as an author, but also like your product as your book, because it does take you through that journey of what you go through as a reader, and then also being able to really apply it to yourself as like a parent, but then also for the students too. You know, it's
Right.
very nice. And I think one thing that's really nice that you do with your books is it becomes like an experience for the parent and the student. So it's one of those things where
Exactly.
they can sit and have that discussion about what's going on in the book and how it correlates. And you can tell that a lot of the work that you put into your book focus a lot on the social emotional learning. And that's such a big deal when it
Yeah.
comes to just what
Yeah.
we do, even here at Learn Reading Easy, our nonprofit, we tend to service a lot of students in Title I communities. So a lot of the students there, they come from like low income housing, or sometimes they just struggle just with literacy as a whole because whether it's like COVID delays or whether it's
Yeah.
just
I've seen
economic
a lot
delays.
of that.
And I think
Mhm.
having those books that really tie into that is so important. And I think for an author, it's so nice to like hear you guys share your input on what you guys go through just to create just an amazing product, especially because literally each product is different. So your book is completely different from
Each
another,
product is so
yeah, from
different.
another author that I've read, and that author's book is completely different. And it's so nice because you guys are putting out such good work. So I really do think that it's important
Thank
that you
you.
guys get your flowers and embrace it and take it all
I
in
was like,
because
wow. I read it.
writing,
I'm like, wow.
yeah,
Wow.
because writing
Like the stuff
writing
that I
takes
would want as a child.
right. And I feel like writing takes like a different level of commitment. But I do
Mhm.
believe also the work that you do, like going into schools. I love to see authors like go into schools. And I've been
Yeah.
so blessed that a lot of the authors that we've had a chance to collaborate with, you guys do the same stuff. Like you guys go into the schools. I feel like, what is it called? Going to your
In the
audience.
community.
You guys, you
Yeah.
guys go
Yeah.
into the
In the
schools.
community. We're doing the work, we're interacting with the
Yes.
students. I don't just read. I put on a PowerPoint for them. I play
Yeah.
the videos. I turn my pictures into motion.
Yeah.
And so they can understand it better because what people fail to realize is that everyone have a different learning style. So
Yes.
I try to think about everyone as a whole. So it's like maybe somebody will, maybe they won't understand as much if I'm really saying it. If they see the video, maybe they'll see what's really happening.
Right.
So I play that as well. And I have interactive stuff. I give them crayons, I give them SEL paperwork, and we talk about it. We go over it. We make it so fun, so fun. And that's just something I'm so blessed to do. Especially I started out in my community and just branching outside of the New York City area. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, especially like just the
Yeah.
reaction from the
And
kids. It never.
I know you tend to do a lot of like book tours, which is I think super nice that you tend to do. So when you're going and you're signing up for like book tours, as far as like deciding like what schools you'll go to or where you're going to do like signings and different things, how important is that as for you as an author to make sure that you're targeting the right students?
It's very important because everyone don't want what you want. Um, and when I'm signing up for these things, I start, like I said, within my community. I contact the school. I find out, hey, are you accepting authors visits at the time? They're like, yeah, absolutely. What is the process? What is this going to cost? Or what is the paperwork like? And I'll send everything over. I go in before I get started. I talk to the students. But then you're like, wait a minute, they're connecting with the story. They're understanding what's happening. They're asking questions.
Hmm.
They're like, wow. And that's why when I have those questions in the book, it's easy to ask them, like, oh, hey, if you were creating your own mystery, who would be the main character?
Right.
My auntie, my
Right.
mommy,
Right.
my brother. And it's like, wow. So that is so important to me that
That connection.
my audience is like, now they're connected. So I'm like, okay, this is the age group that I need to target. K through 2 is the comfort zone. Kindergarten, they're like, yay, I'm excited. And, second grade, they're like, I understand what's happening. I can create my own
Right.
story. So it's so much fun. It's such a blessing.
And I think that's
Such a
so, I think it's so nice that you can definitely tell like with your books, it's very targeted to like certain age group, a certain grade. And I think things like that are so important because a lot of times either you find books where the students are just not connected at all, or you find books that the students are connected, but it's like either hard for them to read. And I think you really incorporate in that like literacy comprehension into your books. It's just so, so important. So I really do appreciate everything that you're doing. One thing that I did want to share with you that the books that you did donate to us, we are going to host it at our Literacy in the Park event, and we're going to sponsor a family with your actual like book kit. So it's going to be super amazing.
Please send pictures. I would love
I will.
anything. I would send you more copies on me if you want. Just please let me know. And thank you so
Yeah.
much for this opportunity. And I'll be glad to send you out a new copy of my newest book for your
Okay.
organization as well,
Okay.
because this one comes with the surprise is a cookbook.
Oh, it's
Those 5
so
recipes with the
cute.
cookbook
Nice.
that comes with it. And so they can help in the kitchen, they can,
Yeah.
bond. I feel like we need the parent-child bond
Yes.
because the community
Yes.
is losing that sometimes.
Before we go, one thing that I just wanted to share is what is the message that you would like to tell students and also parents who are just trying to find their groove with incorporating reading in their household? What would you like tell parents about, just reading? Because a lot of times parents think that reading is just like an extra task or so hard or they don't know where to start. What advice would you give them?
Don't make reading seem like a chore. Once reading becomes a chore, they lose interest. Make it
Yes.
fun, do it with them, and don't make it the punishment. Go read a book.
Right.
That sounds like I'm in
I don't want
trouble.
to read a book.
Like,
Right. Wait,
I don't
wait.
want to read a book.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Discover with them. Wow, ask them questions. That's why, like I said, I designed the book a certain way. Oh, wow, this is something we could do together. A
Hmm.
cookbook? Let's make those pancakes together. So now they're
Hmm.
reading the instructions. Oh, it says, give me 4 cups. Give me 4 cups of, So I
Hmm.
just want parents to spend more time with the kids in that aspect.
Yeah.
It's so important. Read to them. They
Yes.
want that. They love when someone is reading to them. A lot of times, us as parents, I'm going to say us because I'm included, we get so caught up in scrolling,
Hmm.
goofing
Life.
around on
Right.
TikTok, on the rabbit holes.
Right.
And I'm guilty of that because I've done it. And I'm like, wait a
Yes.
minute. I didn't read to my son today.
Right.
Oh, I'm a whole author and I didn't read to him. So it's so easy to get lost. And it's like, take that time. They really only require 15, 20 minutes because their
Right.
attention span is just not
Yeah.
even there.
Yeah.
So you do that, everything changes. And
Yes.
you do that 5 times a week, give them the weekend off.
Yeah.
You know, Parents really need to take that time. Parents, take it from me. Read to your children. Even if it's like the smallest book makes a difference when they go out there into the real world and have to be amongst other kids.
Right.
So that's my message to parents. Read to your kids. Read to the kids.
So you guys heard it first. The key is reading and spending time with your students. Wayneth, thank you so much for coming with us today and sitting down and having an important chat with us about your work as an author, but also just the importance of that correlation between reading and taking time with your students to read. It was a pleasure speaking with you today, and I can't wait to see all the amazing things you have in store
Thank
for
you.
us.
Yes, and I'm sending you that copy sometime this week on my next shipping day. So let me jot that down. This is your copy. I'm going to sign it.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. We're appreciative so much. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me. And we should do this again sometime.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.